Hello everybody, welcome to Oldham Leisure Centre, and today we've got not one, not two, not three, but 4 live games to bring you. That's because it's National Cup semi-final day here with the England Handball Association. Up first, about to get underway, Olympia taking on West London Eagles in the Men's National Cup. Now, of course, to help us through today, couldn't do it all by myself, could I? I've had to get Jack on the front. The font of all knowledge is here, Jack.
You dragged me out here, haven't you? No, it's, I'm excited to be here. The guys are warming up at the moment. We've got both men's games coming up, one after each other. Then straight into the afternoon, we've got both of the women's games semi-finals. It's bound to be a corker. We've got loads of clubs we've already covered this year, and one we haven't actually. The one club we didn't manage to get to, Northampton, they're here this afternoon, so hopefully the Northampton fans tune in.
Yes, so you will be able to see Northampton later, but first up, Olympia taking on West London Eagles. It's clashing the Capital Park. 24 by now, I think, something like that. So a lot of times these two sides have met. Quite a few times we've covered them as well. But it's last chance to do that's a semi-final. So there's a place in the final up for grabs. That's next month, the 10th and 11th of June at the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham. One of these two teams will be heading there. Quite a lot of pressure then, Jack.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think I was actually having a look at the stats before. This is the 4th time these teams have actually played each other this season, let alone like all the times down the years. So at the moment it's 2-1 to Olympia. Both 2 of the games in the league, both of them were settled by about 4. Well, it was exactly 4 goals. And in the final 4, it was settled by 7 advantage to Olympia. So I think West London Eagles, I'm sure, will be coming out swinging strong, hoping to claw that one back. Well,
if they can make it 2-2, they go to the final as well. Yes, what a day of live handball we have for you. Each video, by the way, each game is going to have its own separate broadcast. So after today's game here for Olympia Eagles, we're going to go to a short break. We'll cut off, then go live. All the action is going to be at the England Handball Association YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you head over there, hit subscribe so you get notified throughout the course of the day when the games go live, or head over to Live Sport Now on YouTube as well. The live chat is open in both. So if you comment, we can show those comments on screen, but only if you keep them clean. But please do show your support. The teams do go back and check it out as well. And of course, at any time, if you do want to find out more about the England Handball Association, the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League and the National Cup and all that they do through the youth ranks going upwards as well, there's a link in the body of this broadcast to the England Handball Association website. But maybe don't click it just yet. Wait till after the game. Right, we are going to go get ourselves into our commentary position coming up for you. We've got lineups and we're going to have a little look at the other games that are coming up throughout the course of the day. We'll get into our commentary position. We'll see you very shortly for the first half coming up. Olympia with West London Eagles. Right, everybody, here we go. Almost time to get underway for this game. It is Olympia v West London Eagles. Jack on front with me on commentary. As I said before, what we can do, though, show you the other games that are coming up throughout the course of today. On your screen now is the men's semi-final matches. As you can see, Olympia, West London Eagles. We're here now live for this one. Straight after that, it's going to be a very short gap, probably half hour or so. And then London GD taking on NEM Hawks. That's going to be a good game, isn't it? They haven't met this season since the Premier League season league split, haven't they? North and South. Yeah, no, I'm excited by that one. I think you did the semi-final draw with some of the NEM Hawks. I think Donna was involved with the Handball Hits podcast, and when you drew out GD, she sort of said, oh, well, that's typical, isn't it? Because she sees them, and I think a lot of other teams do, as one of the most powerful and sort of biggest presence
that we have in the semi-finals left. So that's going to be a really good game. Hawks are full on. They never back down from a challenge, and they're always going as fast as they humanly possibly can. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. GD, it's going to be a test for them as well. I don't think either club really know quite what to expect, even though they played each other a lot down the years.
Absolutely fantastic. So that's coming up this morning and over lunch. So this afternoon's games for the women, Olympia v Northampton. As I said, finally we get to see Northampton in the flesh.
Yes, exactly. Not really sure what to expect from them, to be honest, because I haven't ever played with them, against them, or anything like that. And obviously they came slightly lower down the league, so we'll get into detail about their season and numbers when their game comes around. But it is nice the fact that we can actually enjoy seeing them, and their fans can obviously enjoy seeing them in the semi-finals as well. It's a big occasion for them.
There we go, fantastic. Here we are, 2 minutes out, aren't we, from the throw-off. Let's just have a quick look at your team sheet for Olympia. There it is there. I'll let you read them out for yourself. I'm not going to try and attempt to butcher his name. Many times we try, don't we, Jack? And many times we must apologise because we get it horrifically wrong an awful lot. But that's your Olympia squad for this game, coached by Nelson Oliveira down there as well. It could be a very good afternoon, very good morning's play for Olympia, who is going to be heading to that final. Well, here is your Eagles squad for this game as well. Thomas Cower, the number one, always a player to watch out for, isn't he, for the Eagles? He's a very accomplished keeper. Yeah, absolutely. I think when you get to this level, to be honest, all of the players are very exciting to watch. I think Wang Suk-To, whenever we've covered West London Eagles before, very important player in the middle of the court, does control it very well. Kukaskas, massive jump shooter as well for West London Eagles from the half-back position. They need to start getting him, getting the ball fed to him, getting him over some of the defenders, making a screen potentially over on the 6 metre to keep them as far back as possible, and then all of a sudden we might see the best of West London Eagles. But of course, Olympia have a lot of their own threats as well. David Chowdhury, again, a big backcourt shooter, very important in getting the goals out of nothing, you should say. But of course, it's up to the rest of the team to facilitate that. And I'm sure Olympia are well drilled and well versed in how West London Eagles play. And of course the other way round. So the teams are just starting to move into the corner of the hall. This is a simulator having a tunnel basically. While the music gets dimmed, they'll be announced by our DJ, Andy Clark, over the tannoy for the fans. There aren't that many of them at the moment for the early stages of the day, but I'm sure the place will fill out soon. Looks good, does it? Yep. It'll be led, Ian, by, of course, the referees leading the teams out while Andy reads out the names, reads out the teams, and here they come from the corner of the court. First off, and acting as the home team, even though all the way up in Oldham Leisure Centre, it's West London Eagles. As West London Eagles filter their way onto the court, music starts to build, provided by Jake Williams today as well. Of course, Jake, a well-known figure in the English handball scene. As Olympia start to come out now, walking past West London Eagles and giving the customary high fives before we read out the names, or Andy reads out the names. They do their one last shout, and then we get into playing handball here for the England Handball National Cup semi-finals up in Oldham Leisure Centre. Photographers making sure they capture the action as well. Olympia hyping their own players up. And here comes Andy Clark on the tannoy as well. I'm not sure you guys at home actually can hear Andy Clark, but as you can see, he's reading out some of the names as they start to give a big wave to the crowd. For anybody out there wondering who's only watched potentially the Premier League, this is what happens in European handball, in World Championships, in Euro Olympics, and every other sort of form of handball. We don't tend to do this too much in the UK, to be honest, mainly because we don't have the tannoy system. They give a big cheer for the crowd, bit of a wave. And if you do end up tuning into the Olympics for Paris 2024, which we hope you do, of course, after getting there, fixing your handball here in the England Premier League, maybe tuning into some of the Champions League, European Championships, XYZ, expect to see this, light shows, music going on, crowds going wild. It's in a brilliant atmosphere. And of course,
course, we know full well in England that we're slightly smaller, but we like to try and do our best to replicate that and build the atmosphere. As West London Eagles start to get their name spread out.
Thank you very much for that, Jack. Thanks for covering as well. I was just trying to just ask a technical question because I'm not the most technical person in the world, as you know. So thank you for covering there. Yeah, do keep your comments coming in as well. Let's just show some of them whilst the players' names have been read out, shall we? Let's go Eagles, a bit of support this. Curtis Thornhill has got in touch as well, saying you've got, it's Anna Thornhill, isn't it? Of course, played for West London Eagles ladies team, saying you've got this, guys. And THMS 87 GL.
Good luck, I imagine that sounds. I'm not sure good luck for who.
I was yeah.
I'm only guessing, I'll be honest, but of course we have a few of the Olympia squad over to our right as well, the Olympia women's squad, because of course they're playing a little later on, so nice. Hopefully the men's team will stick around and support them as well, and create a little bit of an atmosphere for them, some support of course. So they go back to their benches, give one last high five, one last team shout, and of course one last opportunity for the coaches to give their 2 cents of what they think their players should be doing. Although all the plans will have been done over the weeks and training, and of course on the journeys up, it's a good 3 or 4 hour journey from London for these guys up to Oldham, and I'm sure plenty of tactics will have been discussed on the bus on the way up. Olympia, with their huddle completed, they'll come out and start lining up. West London Eagles taking their time a little bit more as our referees gear up, mic up, whistle up, and they'll lead the teams back into the centre, and we'll get this game started. The teams weren't allowed to use resin for anybody out there for the warm-up. Anybody's wondering out there, I should say. But they are allowed to use it in the actual game. So only the match ball is allowed resin on it. And I got the impression that they had to clean the ball afterwards and potentially clean the hall a little bit as well in between games. So we're doing our best to provide the highest action possible. Of course, everybody who's ever played handball will know that the best action is always played with resin. It makes the ball a little bit easier to catch, makes it easier to throw as well. You can throw it a bit harder, and all in all, a faster game means a better game.
Excellent, very well said. Thank you very much for that, Jane. Remember, do keep your comments coming in. We can see them throughout the course of this game. Olympia v West London Eagles, the men's National Cup semi-final. Yes, a place at the National Cup final is at stake. That's next month at the David Ross Sports Village across the 10th and 11th of June. Who is it going to be? We're going to find out over the course of the next hour or so. Those who are not overly familiar with handball, Jack, just tell us, how does it work? How long are the halves and the scoring? It's quite simple, isn't it, really?
Yep, 2 30-minute halves, 60 minutes of handball, one point per goal. Doesn't matter where you hit, where you shoot it from, doesn't matter where you score it from, it's always 1 point. 7 players on each side. There's quite a lot of rules of 3. You'll have 3 seconds on the ball, 3 steps. There is a goalkeeper area that is 6 metres away from the goal, and you're not allowed in there. But if you jump in there, throw the ball before landing, then that is absolutely fine. So you might see that quite a lot. As West London Eagles give the customary high fives to Olympians, some good sportsmanship as well, letting them share the ball in the resin. Because of course, as I said, they weren't allowed to use it in the warm-up. Ball almost gets turned over, and there's a little bit of a foul. Now it is a contact sport, but it's a bit like rugby league. Every single time there's a tackle, the ball basically resets to the attacking team.
Very good indeed. We're underway. Don't know why the clock isn't going though.
Well, the shot is wide from the centre player, and that's number 22 from West London Eagles. That is Elliot Stockalper, I'm going to go for. There is a few other names there, but I'm going to call him Elliot for the time being. I don't want to butcher his name. I do apologise. As Olympia starts to charge, don't they? You see the number 9 of West London Eagles really pushing out, even though the line player is based behind the right back. As they go through, the number 9 for Olympia gets the first goal, and that is Lucas Balmerius.
Well, bright start from Olympia. I normally put you on a spot a little bit, Jack, and ask you who thinks going to win, but it's a very tight one, this, isn't it? We are expecting a close game. It has been the numerous times these sides have already met this season. Yeah,
I think if the stats are anything to go by, it should be decided by about 4 or 5 goals, but you can't really call which way. Of course, Olympia, as I said, in the three meetings they've had this season, do edge it 2-1. But of course, West London Eagles, if they turn up today, they've got a big squad, I imagine a full squad as well. They could end up turning this around.
Well, it's been a good
I'm not
season.
going to give you a solid answer.
No.
So that's my best attempt at sitting on the fence over here.
Oh, you do it so well, Jack.
Absolutely. I know my stuff. I'm prepared for what you're going to ask me by now. Passive play is called. That means they get 6 opportunities and they take the shot very early doors. I think that is Chowdhury, number 10 from West London Eagles. No, Cascas, sorry, Chowdhury is on the other team, of course.
Yeah, early stages of this game. 2 minutes in, Olympia 1, West London Eagles 1. The clash in the capital part, 1,624. So something like that, isn't it? The amount of times these two sides play, but it's always exciting, it's always full of action, and it's always tight and close as well, and we're expecting the same here. National Cup semi-final, Olympia v West London Eagles here live at Oldham Leisure Centre. The first of 4 live games we're going to be bringing you throughout the course of the day. Oh, through the legs, beautiful.
Yeah, very nice there. The Olympia left winger, number 22, which yeah, that's David Chowdhury actually. So yeah, good goal by him. Didn't look like the. In fact, I said he was a big backcourt shooter before. My apologies, I must have got him mixed up with someone else because he's definitely not a big backcourt shooter. But from the left wing there, I actually thought he was a little bit unbalanced, but he managed to get the ball through the legs of the number 1 West London Eagles. That's Thomas Cower, who of course he had mentioned before.
Yeah, one of my favourite players is Thomas. Also a really nice bloke as well, to be honest with you. So there you go. It's always nice, isn't it, when they're like that. Don't forget to please like, comment and share. We can see your comments. Hit subscribe if you're watching at Live Sport now on YouTube or at the England Handball Association. It makes a difference to us. It means we can continue broadcasting going into next season as well. Still a lot of handball to come, though. Of course, National Cup is going to be broadcast live next month too.
That looked like a penalty. Yeah, there we go. Nice bit of movement, plenty of feints. And feints from the Olympia backcourt players, feeding it to the line and then defending from inside the area. So we get our first penalty of the game. Looks like it's Jonas to be stepping up to take it. Left foot planted behind the 7-metre line, and he tries to go. I'll tell you what, if anybody watched yesterday, Notts County, Bostock in the penalty shootout,
yeah, I did.
Very nonchalant with the Panenka. That wasn't quite Panenka, but it was nonchalant, and it went the same result as well.
Well, he got away with it in the end. Did Bostock? Is our man down there going to get away with it come the end of this game as well?
Oh, great
off the
save.
crossbar.
Oh, was that a pass back? That looks like a pass back to me, yeah. No, he's not allowed to deflect it and the keeper to pick it up. Now, we haven't seen that this season. To be honest, I went 3 years playing handball without knowing that rule because it never came up. But a defender is not allowed to pass it back to the goalkeeper, even if that means deflecting it from outside the area into the area. So, West London Eagles get the ball back and they can try and charge it up once again.
Well, that was a super spot, Jack. It really was. I'll give you your due there. And here we go. Eagles with it now. They trail 2-1. Early stages of this game. Nearly 5 minutes coming up on the clock here.
Another penalty.
And it's a penalty, yeah.
Perez Niku, unfortunately, inside the area when he was defending. Exactly the same problem as what they had before. And a save there. A bit of an unusual penalty. The number 10. West London Eagles, Kukaskas, the only sorry, not the only score of this game, my apologies, but one of the scores for West London Eagles early on, bouncing the ball straight down the centre and into the goalkeeper, which is a bit of a strange one. Of course, the goalkeeper for Olympia is number 73, Matheus De Paulo. Didn't really have to know much about that penalty save, but they all count.
We've had a question coming, Jack. You might be able to help us with this. Jackie Fox has asked what colour lines today.
Oh, yeah, they're hard to see, I'll be honest. They're sort of a grey lilac.
Yeah.
I know it looks like there's lots of lines here at Oldham, but it is a good call. Great take there. Can they move it? Yes, they can. Number 9 for West London Eagles scores after a really good move. That's Mark Russell Gordelich. A really good transition there from West London Eagles. Yeah, they're sort of grey. They are difficult to see. I have no idea if you can even see them on the broadcast. We can just about see them here. That's got to be travelled by Jonas. West London Eagles turn it over. They look to break again. Kukaskas from the left-back position looks to the centre. There's plenty of space on the right wing, but he doesn't get the ball there. And to be honest, there's even more space from the right back. A little bit rushed there.
The number 9 for Olympia, just telling his players to calm down and just think a little bit. You've got to communicate, haven't you? It's really evident, isn't it, when players just aren't on the same wavelength. But when they are, my word, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And we know that both of these teams can get on that level as well, which is what we're excited to see, because to be honest, they've both started really intensely. Oh, great defending there by West London Eagles. No foul given, even though potentially they thought there might be another great bit of defensive interception there by the number 26. Jonas turns around. and they slow the ball down. Give credit where it's due. That was Pavel who was intercepting the ball. They try and force the ball to exactly him at the line.
Now down the guy, Chowdhury there, the number 22 for Olympia, having a quick chat with the referee. The referee's not having any of it.
No, so the play slows down a little bit for West London Eagles. Again, there's lots of room out there on the right wing now, permitting him to have quite a lot of the court. They go over to mark him a little bit now. Right-hander at right back is never easy as well, so maybe they'll... Oh, Cascad's getting manhandled there, but yeah, the number 9 for West London Eagles is Mark Russell Gordelich, who I mentioned before has already got a goal so far. They offer for Cascas far too much room, but to play right back or right half with the right hand is very, very difficult. If you're defending against a player like that, you give him a little bit more room and think about the rest of the court, just because it is so hard to score from that area.
Well, there we go. For the first time, I made out for the first time in this game, Eagles take the lead as we approach the 8-minute mark of the first half here. Long way to go. Yeah, it's been a battle already, hasn't it? Tight game we expected and a tight game we're getting, Jack.
I'm exhausted just watching the West London Eagles defence. We've only had 8 minutes of it. They're so high, they're so aggressive, allowing the line players to have free reign of the 6 metres, to be honest. Playing a 3-3 defence. And at the moment, working quite well for them. I mean, we've had 8 minutes of handball, and Olympia have only scored 2 goals. So you can't say it's not working for West London Eagles. What you can maybe speculate is how long they can keep us up. Yeah,
absolutely. Remember, if you are watching over at YouTube at the England Handball Association, please do like, comment and share. We're also live on Twitter at the EHA's Twitter page as well, so if you are a tweeter, please do retweet it. It makes a big difference. Let's get this incredible sport seen by as many people as possible throughout the course of the 2022-23 season. We have been bringing you 2 matches a month live of the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League. Now we're here, of course, for the National Cup as well. As I mentioned before, we've had over 100,000 people tune in to watch the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League this season. How good is that? And of course the National Cup is going to get a good dose of views as well over the course of the next few weeks, Jack, too.
That's what we're hoping, of course, and like you mentioned, with the help of the audience, that'll be, we can try and get as many numbers as possible. Good goal there. I think that was number 22, normally playing in the centre position, but they set them up slightly different. They ended up over towards the right back. Oh, it could be a lovely little spin into the line, but it didn't have enough spin on it. The Eagles take it up. It's 4-2. Can they extend it once more? Cascas looking for support. Number 22 again, he's got a very good step in all fairness.
Who is the number 22? Because I'll tell you what, he looks a fairly slight figure, but my word, he can dart around and move into places I didn't think it was possible to move into.
I know, that was, well, it was Elliot from the centre. I have tried to already pronounce and butcher his name already once today, so I won't do that again, but he's everywhere. And as I said, good step. Normally Olympia quite good at closing that gap up. Actually defending in polar opposite sort of fashions here. West London Eagles going very aggressive, very high, whereas Olympia is sitting back on that 6-0, only really stepping forward when they sort of about 3 or 4 passes into the attack. Oh, lots of space for the line there. That was the second line, of course, coming from the right wing. It actually looks like there's an injury for West London Eagles player. So timeout called here, stop the clock.
Yeah, stop that clock. We are 10.5 minutes into this game.
So number 26 steps up. A bit more aggression in that shot than the penalty we saw earlier. That was Pavel. I'm just going to keep it a Pavel for the time being.
And Olympia pull one back.
That's a Winsev I'm actually going to go for. It's not as bad as I thought it was, to be honest, to start with. I'm probably still butchering it. If there's anybody out there who wants to spell these out phonetically in the YouTube chat, we'll put it on screen and I will apologise profusely to the players. As Cascas tries to bounce and throw off Chowdhury at the centre of that defence. Left wing in attack, centre in defence shows how important a player he clearly is, number 22 for Olympia. And another good shot by Elliot there. He's finding the bottom corners. There's a lot of bounce shots and sort of low shots. Maybe they've identified that as the Olympia goalkeeper's weakness.
Well, I'll tell you, Eagles have just raced into this 3-goal lead almost from nowhere, weren't they? In fact, they were 2-1 down, weren't they? And then went, 4 unanswered. And, of course, Olympia with that penalty got one back.
What a pass. What a goal! Stop that immediately.
OK, producer Elaine, that is one. When we spoke about highlights, that is the goal to get, please. Oh, my word.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I don't think I've seen a better goal all season. I mean, that was like an NFL wide receiver, wasn't it? That one, clutching it out of the air.
You know what the most annoying thing is as well? It's Wang Suk So actually. I was going to say we haven't got the number 3 on the team sheet, but it's Wang Suk So. I actually identified him before. Shot straight at the keeper there, but that was unbelievable. An unreal pass over 2 defenders, a fantastic take. And then as well, he only had 1 step. He only had about 3 metres to play with, and he managed to secure the bottom corner. Yeah, really impressive.
7-3 to Eagles in this one. Looking to get a little bit of revenge. There is the timeout now, so if we just stop that clock. Jack, it's been fast, it's been furious, about 12 minutes or so into this first half action. But almost from nowhere, Eagles lead it by 4. I'm not so sure I was quite expecting that.
No, I definitely wasn't. As I said, I think Olympia had turned up playing their 6-0 defence, maybe slightly sluggish, slightly slow. Maybe they weren't warming up, or the headspace wasn't quite in the right mindset as West London Eagles. I mean, when I turned up at 9 o'clock this morning, West London Eagles, I sort of walked in with them, and they instantly started warming up. They instantly started stretching, warming up the shoulders. They were already preparing for the game. And it was probably about 15-20 minutes before I even saw the first Olympia player come into the court. So they were just sort of laying their shirts on the chairs and everything. So maybe they've come in with a slightly more relaxed feeling. Maybe they think that worked best for them. West London Eagles have started this game so much better. Their defence has been incredible. It's been intense. Their fast breaks have been on point. Yeah, very, very impressive. They're reminding me a little bit of how Hawks played, to be honest. This is what we were slightly expecting later on. GD to play like Olympia. I'm sure GD will be hoping to play better than Olympia right now. But to be a bit more structured, use a bit more power, whereas Hawks will be looking to run them off the court, get up that fast break, turn the ball over as quickly as possible and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm excited to see that game, but this one is starting us off well at the semi-finals. Yeah,
I mean, at semi-final stage, you expect every game to be tight, don't you? And quite fraught and frantic. We've got some fantastic games coming up for you. As we said, Hawks v London GD up next after this one. 4 games in total to bring you for the National Cup semi-finals. The men, 2 men games up first, and of course we'll bring you the women's a little bit later too. Each game will have its own broadcast. Oh, that was beautiful. I keep trying to finish what I'm saying, and then a really good bit of action happens on court, and I've got to stop.
Yeah, and that was scored by Balberius, which is fast becoming one of my favourite names to stay. I think it just rolls off the tongue really nicely.
That is cool,
and he scored 2, so hopefully he'll score a few more and we can repeat it. But yeah, good goal there. Bounces to the bottom corner from a sort of shoulder, hip shot, I would say. Oh, West London Eagles move it out to the right wing. I thought there was a little bit of a travel suspect there, but a really good goal off about 3 posts. I think I hit the right post, the crossbar, and the left post before finally just sinking in with the left for the number 5 there, the right winger.
We are expecting a moment from Olympia where they'll probably go a fair few unanswered, won't they? You would expect that. So Eagles, you know, you've got to keep their heads in this one. It's still a long, long, long way to go, of course. We're not even halfway through the first half here. But they will be absolutely delighted with the opening 14 minutes or so of this game. Oh,
I'll tell you what, I'd have thrown my mic if that would have got it, but that would have been really nice. Not quite the take he was hoping for. I think the pass was a little long, not quite as on point as we used to. Again, Olympia, there's lots of space behind the defenders along that 6-metre line, but every time a winger comes into a second line, or the line player tries to move, or a backcourt player tries to force them back, they throw the ball away, unforced errors. They're trying, it's sort of West London Eagles tempting them in without actually allowing them enough space to do anything with it. It's very impressive by them at the moment.
I've got a feeling my bum's going to get a little bit numb on these seats throughout the course of the day, but all for the good of the sport. So ball goes out, it's 4 Eagles. They lead it by 4. Olympia 4, West London Eagles 8 here at Oldham Leisure Centre. We are live for the Men's National Cup semi-final.
Again, that's sort of what I was explaining, what I was saying now though with the Olympia team. There looks like there's so much space, and they feel like when they get through and they break the line, there's that opportunity that you're going to be straight through on goal. But West London Eagles 1 versus 1 defending is tracking them all the way, and there was passive play there. Olympia didn't even get a shot away. There wasn't an opportunity. So as I said, 15 minutes in, 45 to go. That's a very long time to keep this sort of intensity up. But if they do, fully deserving winners.
Well, I can tell you something as well. When I've just spied, Jack, I can tell you Hawks are in the house.
They are indeed. Yeah, see White has come in. Oh, tried the spin shot, wasn't happening. Mark Howard to my left as well. He turned up a little bit earlier in time to watch the start of this game. Of course, it is a home game for Manchester Hawks up here in Oldham.
Do you think that'll help? Do you think that makes a difference?
Sorry?
Do you think that'll help them? Do you think it'll make a difference, really?
I think they'll get a few more fans down for sure, yeah. I think they'll have a bit more of a presence. And to be honest, that just means they can get up a little bit later, if nothing else, doesn't it? I mean, these guys, they were here at 9 AM and it's 3 hours away, London, isn't it, roughly? So, yeah, that's a very early start for both of these teams. I'm amazed they haven't started even more sluggish. Oh, there's too much space, but he's thrown it over. Straight through from the left-back position, West London Eagles, for the first time in this match, getting their communication wrong, and Challenger couldn't take advantage.
Do you know what? I hadn't even thought about the scheduling in time. You might have thought the Hawks game would be up first, wouldn't you, against Julia? Well,
let's not question that since who we're streaming for.
Yeah, well, I actually think it's my fault because I did this semi-final draw.
So it is your fault?
So I think it might be my fault, actually.
Well, the random number generator that you use.
So I'm sorry, everyone. In fact, it's actually NEM Hawks' fault because they joined me for that semi-final draw. So.
True. And I believe Donna did actually call it correctly, each of the fixtures as well. So
she called it for the men's, I think. Yeah, I think she got it wrong for the women's.
We'll blame Donna.
Yeah, we'll blame anybody but ourselves.
Or again, a little bit of space. They can actually find it, but they don't.
They just seem so in control, Eagles, at the minute, don't they? Now leading it by 5. Olympia 4, West London Eagles 9 in the first half here, this semi-final clash. And I've been mightily impressed with the number 22 there, the chap with the slightly longer hair there. Elliot, yeah.
Almost
beautiful.
90 degrees while it's in the air there. Very nicely done. I think he's right off the court annoyingly, but it was number 10 he's just turned around. It's Trenez, and I remember that name when we covered his games before. Remember, I think our game of the season, both our games of the season, to be honest, Ian, well, certainly mine, I think we discussed this before though, was that Olympia versus Great Dane, or GD I should say actually, a game down. I can't remember exactly what leisure centre it was now, but it was very impressive indeed. GD took the lead very convincingly. We thought Olympia were dead and buried, but they came back in the second half. And I think they're going to have to do something similar here.
And Challenger, he's not happy, is it? It's the second time I've seen him getting a little bit vocal down. He did take a heavy hit there.
He did. I think he's basically been told to quit it, otherwise in handball you can't get 2 minutes. Again, Olympia forcing it. No fast break on this time, no. There's still space to be exploited though if they do hurry it up. Kaska's trying to get inside, manhandled out of it, but there's lots of room on this right-hand side. No, not happening just yet. They'll slow it down.
I tell you what, number 22, Elliot, his hands just magically appear. If he ever decides handball's not for him, I think he could head over to the NFL, you know.
Well, as you say, he throws the ball away.
I was going to say, well, he could pluck it out of the air and run with it, but he might need to put a bit more meat on the bone, shall we say.
Well, I think a little bit more resin on the ball as well there. Unfortunately, just flying out of his hand, to be fair. I thought he was about to travel with it anyway. Passing play means they've got 6 passes, and then they have to shoot or lose it. They've moved the ball, a little bit of a slap, that is a foul, but passing play carries on. So they must only have about 1 pass there. Yeah, in fact, the referee signalling 1 pass. So passes to Kaskas, hope for the best, and he produces the best as well, into the bottom right-hand corner.
I'll tell you what, did you say it's Andy Clark on the music down there?
It's Jake Williams today. Andy Clark is our announcer.
Andy Clark's our announcer.
But Jake Williams is on the music, and he said he's got about 30 songs to play during the day. He's getting a workout with them at the moment as well. Nice pass to the line there. First time they've actually managed to find the line, I think, successfully. And they get the goal from it. Yeah,
they do. I have to say the tunes are banging. I'm very impressed indeed. Lovely atmosphere here in Oldham Leisure Centre. England Handball, of course, down there as well. I can see John Pearce is here, isn't he? Mike Bain as well, the CEO of England Handball, is in attendance today as well for this one.
Apparently he's only here for this game though. He's got his daughter's engagement dinner to go to, which is, I suppose, quite a good excuse to get out of work.
Well, I don't know, there's a canteen here at Oldham Leisure Centre.
It's going to be my lunch anyway.
Right, here we go. It's Eagles leading by 4 in this one. Tell us what you think, everybody watching. What have you made of the first half? And particularly Eagles' performance so far as they now go and lead by 5 again. Once again, a beautiful, beautiful goal. And it's Olympia 6, Eagles 11.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's certainly not what I was expecting out of this game so far. It would be interesting to know everybody else's views. in the YouTube chat, were you expecting this? What can Olympia do to get out of it? We will be hearing from Andy Clark at half-time as well, a little bit of his analysis, a little bit of punditry. As they move it to the right back, and again, can't convert it. I don't know if there was a touch of from the goalkeeper there. Sounded like it from my perspective. I'll give the credit to the goalkeeper, why not?
Give the credit to the goalkeeper, absolutely. I would. All right, here we go. It is, it's still 6-11. Yes, it is. Olympia 6, West London Eagles 11. A long way to go. We're 20 minutes into the first half here. 30-minute halves, of course, don't forget. A goal is quite simply 1 point, and that's how it works. It really, really is that simple when it comes to the scoring. Can Olympia get one back? Wow. Oh my word! Thomas Cowell, take a bow, my son.
Flip that. That was a great save by Cowell. First time Olympia had really successfully broken up the court, and well, the West London Eagles had to rely on the goalkeeper, but what amount to rely on?
I'll tell you what, there's hope for me yet, because I'm 5'7", so I never had a chance of making it. I always liked playing in goal, but I never had a chance in football because I was too short. But Thomas is about the same height as me, so maybe I could still make it in goal.
Yeah, to be honest, to play in goalkeeper in handball, you have to be
crazy.
I mean, you're crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean,
I don't think I'm crazy enough.
I think you can be any height and go in goal. As long as you're willing, you'll get a starting spot, to be honest, because I was never willing to go in goal at handball. It's honestly terrifying. West London Eagles moving to the right wing, and well, he's already got 1 goal so far today off 3 posts. He couldn't convert it that time. He needs to get back to the defence. He's leaving the left winger with lots of space. Olympia don't move the ball there, though. That's a charging foul or not. Yes, it is a foul. No, it's travel. Don't look like a charging foul to me, but I suppose it was chest on chest, maybe not.
Yeah, there we go. What a game we're seeing so far. Don't forget, keep your comments coming in at half-time. We'll go through them. You say you're going to run down and have a chat with Andy Clark at the break?
I am indeed, yeah. Who
brilliant.
gives his expert analysis. I think over the season, everybody's bored of mine. So,
I don't think so.
Well
no, we're not, Jack. No, we're not. Not at all.
Might as well go and get Andy's perspective of it as well, since I don't think he'll be announcing anything. So I have warned him. It's always nice to have a chat to Andy Clark. Great personality, great handball mind as well. He's been around the sport for a long time. Pretty much everybody in England handball knows him. Eskikaska's managed to bounce the ball through the Olympian event, and he managed to get through.
And the Eagles double Olympia score here. Wow, what a game we are saying. What a performance by West London Eagles. There's still a lot of this game to go. Of course, we are 22.5 minutes into the first half, so not a million miles away from the break. A bit of work for Nelson Oliveira to do, the Olympia coach at half-time, isn't it? I wonder what he'll be saying to his team.
Well, there was a double trouble there, but I'll tell you what, there is. There's a fast break on. One took toe, and a goal.
There you go.
Those words go hand in hand, I think, at this point. Fast break, one took toe, goal.
There's another one for the highlight reel as well. That was an absolute cracker. Just a prime example of what Eagles have been doing. People are still commenting as well. Nisa Beast's 6-goal lead. Let's go Eagles. Well, it's 7 now. And everybody watching, can we get a shout out for Jack Oliphant as well? Join me on commentary as well. What a season he's been, and what a pleasure it's have Jack with us throughout the course of the campaign. I'm sure it makes things a lot better when you're with us, Jack. So can we please get a bit of love in the chat for Jack Oliphant, please?
Well, I don't think I'll be able to get my head through the door next time, but yeah, thank you very much, Ian. It's always a pleasure. It's been a great season, to be honest.
Well, don't get too excited because no one's commented yet.
Well, exactly. Well, it's nice to have your praise, Ian, that's for sure.
What's going on here, Jack?
I think there's a little bit of dispute of how aggressive maybe the defence was. I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, I'm not sure. I think 6 and 1, half dozen of the other. Not really much to shout about. As there's a travel, 0 options. The first time that we've seen Olympia really get into the heads of West London Eagles. They go at the other end, and this time Cowell cannot prevent them from scoring the goal with number 7, Georgiev, on the right wing.
Will the real Georgiev please stand up?
Hey, I think he's enjoying this Jake down there, isn't he, at the moment?
He's doing a great job down there, I've got to say. It's a bit of a party atmosphere. Just for a moment there, where we had that little stoppage over on whilst Eagles were attacking, everything just went silent all at once. You know when you get those moments, everything just happens to go silent all at the same time, and it was really, really weird, but there is a good atmosphere. It's only going to build throughout the course of the day. A total of 4 games we're going to be bringing you for the Men's and Women's National Cup semi-final. This is game 1. Olympia the West London Eagles, and so far it is proven an absolute cracker. Certainly if you're an Eagles fan, get your comments coming in, and remember, we want to have a bit of love for Jack Oliphant as well, if we can, and tell us who are you supporting in this game. How impressed have you been with the West London Eagles? Get involved with us. We can see your comments. We can put them on screen at half-time. We'll go through them as well. So if you want to give a shout-out to a player, now is the time to get those comments coming in. We are 5 minutes to go to the break here. It's Olympia 7, West London Eagles 13.
Yeah, and I was just thinking whether or not that sort of stoppage where everything did go silent, then Olympia go at the other end, score. West London Eagles haven't really had any kind of cohesion since then, weirdly enough. Attack broken down twice, Olympia broken twice. Let's see if they can rescue their defence. It's only a couple of minutes to half-time. Olympia don't score that one, but is that another pass back? Yes, it is. That's twice we've seen that in this game. It's a bit of a strange one. Oh, as the referee didn't let the restart happen quickly enough for Olympia. They do keep the ball. Eagles have retreated back towards that 6-metre line, or within the 9 metres, which is about as deep as they've been all game. Chargers still not happy with some of the decisions.
That brave photographer back there.
Yeah.
He's right to the right-hand side of the goal. Left as you're looking at it on the screen. I thought he was going to get a ball in the face there, but these players know what they're doing, don't they? The number 3 for Eagles, he's had a very good game as well. There he is with the ball in hand now. Who is the number 3? Sorry.
Wansuk too.
Yeah. Well, he scored that blinder of a goal, didn't he, early on in that first half?
He could have had 2 or 3, to be honest, as the passes haven't quite been on point for him, but he's been very effective down that left-hand side. We've got an absolute stream from our right, which is, of course, the Olympia, I think it's the Olympia fan base, also known as the Olympia women's team here, which, of course, playing a little later.
They are playing a little bit later. We've got a timeout now, so let's just stop the clock. A couple of comments. Curtis Thorner says, keep your defence up, Eagles there. Curtis there, it's Anna, I think, commenting actually under Curtis's YouTube profile. So I wonder if you know Curtis. Anna's logged in right now commenting. It has been fantastic, hasn't it? As I said, Anisa B getting in touch as well, saying 6-goal lead. Let's go Eagles. Yeah, oh my word, what a game we're seeing. And I don't know if this is because Eagles are leading or because as soon as I started talking about a shout out for you, Jack, she commented that. Now,
oh, that's absolutely not it. No, because Eagles are winning. I guarantee it. Nobody needs to shout me out. It's absolutely fine.
We've had no shout outs for Jack.
No,
can we please give Jack a little bit of love?
I would rather stay under the radar here,
Okay, don't shout out for Jack. Let's give a shout out for the teams playing here as well, and what a season we've had throughout the course of the Premier League. And of course, this is the National Cup semi-final, and suddenly it goes silent again, doesn't it? It's crazy. I can see Victoria's down here. She plays for West London Eagles women's team.
Yeah,
giving a bit of support.
There's a crowd, isn't there, really starting to form, and I'm sure when Hawks start to enter the building, that'll only grow and grow, being the most local team. But with 3.5 minutes to go in this first half, the difference is 6 in the favour of West London Eagles, of course. After a timeout called by West London Eagles, because of course if you don't use a timeout in the first half, you do lose it. Olympia turn the ball over, there's plenty of space, it's a 3-on-1 situation. Olympia don't take advantage though, they were slow, they were disjointed, and it was a great defence by the Eagles.
It's the number 5 for West London Eagles, just sprinted out of nowhere. I have to say, I've seen a lot of West London Eagles, and they always play well, but this is something else. I've got to say, this is one of the best first half performances by a team I think I've seen, and we've done, what, 15, 16 handball games now over the last 12 months?
That's good movement though by Olympia, dragging the players in. But you're right, yeah, I'm very impressed with the West London Eagles. I don't know whether Olympia has started to slightly figure out West London Eagles needing half time to maybe catch their breath just a touch. I think that's why the timeout was called anyway. They're starting to set another move up here because they're moving their attackers around. Number 9 goes into line, that's what he's been doing a lot from the right back specifically. Elliot goes for the shot, wasn't really on, I fear. Still going to slide out. Retains the ball. Olympia go at the other end now. It's probably quite important from Olympia's perspective that they go in with at least double figures on this half time.
Well, they're running out of time now. They've only got 2 minutes or so to go off this first half, so they're going to have to get a bit of a wiggle on and convert quickly. Well, there's one of them. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. There's one to take Elaine as well. Producer Elaine, that's a goal for the highlights.
Yeah, no, it looked like the attack had been stopped. It looked like the foul was about to be given. To be fair, I was about to say good advantage made by the referee, but there's no real advantage in handball. It's just whether or not the ball can still be played. and the ball could be played, and it created a good goal. Lukaskas bounces it in after running through one tackle into another, and managing to get the ball though into the back of the net, which is the important thing.
Kind of think they needed that, Eagles, because Olympia were just starting to peg them back a little bit, weren't they? But it goes back 2-5. Huge shout from over on the right-hand side, and the Olympia support over there.
I think that was the support of what was a brilliant pass, to be honest. It was wide open on the line. Players from West London Eagles trying to rush out to block the pass towards the centre. Both of them completely forgetting about who had the pivot player. So, well, Olympia are up to 10. We've got a minute to go. It's back down the gap to 4. So, Olympia finishing this half strongly. There
he goes. The man on the PA just plays out. So one of my favourite songs of all time as well. Smells Like Teen Spirit. What a classic.
Goal there for West London Eagles. Olympia trying to break in with the last 45 seconds to play. Charge up on the left wing. Through the legs of Cower, keeping a 4-goal game going into the last 40 seconds.
This. Literally the last minute and a half, we've just had flooded with goals. This has been action-packed. This is absolutely sensational. Now Eagles just say, let's just slow this down a little bit.
Yeah, half of them wanted to go fast, half of them, the right half wanted to go fast. The left half wanted to go slightly slower and try and run this time out. There's no point giving the ball back to Olympia to make it a 3-goal game. Get up there, take the shot. Oh, is that a Kemper? Yes, it is! Number 14, wow. Alexander Norvik.
Opportunity knocks and takes it.
In the area there, Olympia, though, otherwise it would have been 2 potential goal of the games. Right at the end, Lukaskas goes for the shot from halfway just to try and beat the buzzer. It's a 5-goal game, West London Eagles 16, and Olympia 11.
It's the half-time mark. Wow, wow, wow. Well, Jack, I know you're going to run down and have a quick chat with Andy Clark. Before you do that, though, just give us your thoughts on that first half. Eagles soaring high at the break.
I'm absolutely loving it, to be honest. Yeah, they are. Just put my iPad down. Great game. I think West London Eagles obviously impressed us. Anybody listening to us on the stream can tell that, but their defence has been very, I would say it looks very open, but their man-to-man defence has been very, very impressive. Their attack has also been just as quick and aggressive as well. I think Olympia in the last couple of minutes started to figure it out, whether West London Eagles maybe got a little bit tired, the concentration dipped a little bit, they got a little bit carried away, I'm not entirely sure. Or Olympia figured it out and they're starting to expose the space a little bit more, starting to be a bit smarter with it. But we saw it, I mentioned the GD versus Olympia game earlier. Olympia were dead and buried at half-time against GD. And then all of a sudden, in the second half, they switched their defence, they switched the style of play, fast breaking. All of a sudden, they were right in the game. I think GD came out on top, but I tell you what, nobody would have complained if Olympia had. So, yeah, really looking forward to the second half. 5 goals can be easily overturned.
Fantastic. Right, Jack, I'll let you make your way down now to catch up with Andy Clark. Half-time here, it's Olympia 11, West London Eagles 16. Coming up very shortly, we're going to have analysis from Jack's just making his way now down onto the court.
Oh,
here we go.
And there might be a few audio adjustments here that they're going to need to do because we might speak in slightly different volumes. But Andy, what a game of handball we've turned up for.
Yeah, that was a fantastic first half of handball. I think West London Eagles have really turned up to the occasion today. I know from speaking to people on the bench that they've turned up with their full squad today, which is really, really exciting. They're really contributing to the game, which is nice to see.
I was going to say, Olympia started to come back towards the end of that half, though, didn't they? Was that them figuring out the West London Eagles' defence, or was that Eagles needing half-time to catch their breath?
I think I think the plan that Olympia had just wasn't working, and I think they were trying to force a little bit too much, trying to get too much contact before passing and making a lot of technical errors. They had opportunities to score goals. It's just that they had to put it wide. They missed pens. The goalie made a few nice saves. Like scoring 11 goals in the first half is probably not where they want to be. But I think also credit to Eagles, they're really aggressive defence, but they're under a lot of pressure. So that last 5 minutes was like super exciting because it just clicked for Olympia a little bit. They were doing what they probably should have done for the previous 20 minutes. So I'm really excited to see the second half now.
Do you think it's a bit of a mindset? I mean, I theorise that potentially when I turned up at 9 a.m. this morning, West London Eagles were already warming up, individual warm-ups and everything like that, and we didn't see Olympia for another 20 minutes. I know London is a long way, but they both had the same distance travelled. Do you think that's maybe part of it, the psychological sort of ready for the game?
Yeah, it can do. I mean, players are different, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? But I think if you're travelling 3 to 4 hours, it stays in your legs. It can be one of those things. I know, you know, I'm not massive on geography, so I imagine they're fairly similar kind of travel distances. But yeah, we did see Eagles kind of in the hall a little bit, and Olympia did. But they're all in terms of like the level of, you know, play and aptitude and professionality within their own context. They're all of a level where they know for Olympia that's not where they want to be. You know, maybe they've kind of not turned up how they want to be, like mindset's a little bit different. I know their first team goalkeeper's not here today. Is that having an impact on them? But yeah, it is what it is, Jack. I mean, they've got 30 minutes to turn it around. You know, so let's see what they do.
Well, now's the golden question. How do they turn it around, of course? Because West London Eagles came with a very aggressive 3-3 defence. They were pretty much ignoring the line player for a lot of it. I would expect, it worked in the first half, I'd expect them to do it in the second half as well. How do Olympia turn that round?
I think they were doing it towards the end of the first half. They were passing the ball quickly, they moved in transition really well. Thomas in the middle was really controlling the attack. They just need someone to control and tell people what they need to do. I think they were playing very individually. I think once they play collaboratively together, send the second line in, confuse people, take a few hits, 9 metres, you know, get a few pens. I think they've just got to put Eagles in a situation where they don't want to be in, which is kind of on the back foot, playing transition. Like I only seen a couple up towards the end in terms of like playing at speed, getting the ball to the centre and trying to score. Yeah, so the first half was really dominated by the left-hand side of Eagles in terms of Olympia wouldn't score a goal. I think the left wing scored 3 or 4 really nice kind of goals, and that's the massive difference. You know, in terms of not providing what they should be doing in attack and then not returning with speed. So I think the level of speed from Olympia needs to kind of increase, and they're just collective collaboration working together to achieve the outcomes.
Well, moving on from this game then, because we've got a jam-packed day, of course, here for the semi-finals. We won't have a chance to chat to you anybody else during the half-times, potentially, of the others. So talk us through GD versus Hawks. A little bit of a snippet of what you're expecting from that one. Two teams that haven't met each other this season. Hawks, they play fast. GD, they play a bit more set-up, don't they? What are you expecting?
Fireworks. I'm very excited for this game. They've not played each other all season. I know from watching Hawks a little bit this year, they're the champions. They come with the badge, 2 years in the bounce, do you know what I mean? Don and Sue doing a fantastic job there. Lads who know how to throw a ball about. But GD are GD, you know, and they just know how to play handball, and they'll come bring the noise. So I'm expecting an extremely physical encounter, and it'll be really close. And I probably couldn't put, you know, money down on who's going to win. I imagine it'll be within 2 or 3 goals.
I was going to say, it's a fixture that almost deserves to be in the final, doesn't it, really? Because, of course, like you said, Hawks double champions, but then GD, British Super Cup champions from last year, so they're, you know, it's not like they've dropped their levels at all. And the women's, of course, we've got Northampton that I personally don't know much about. I don't know if you've watched Northampton at all this season, or if you know anything about them.
Yeah, a little bit. Girls, again, they can play some really good handball. They had a fantastic coach with Antonio for a number of years, so I think they're rebuilding their kind of coaching side. But they're a fantastic team that have been together a long, long time. I think they've flourished through other clubs kind of stopping in their area, so they've kind of brought on some girls from other, like Coventry for example, but they're a fantastic outfit. I know from them playing Liverpool a few times, it's really, really competitive, close game. They're quite tall players, very organised, and are very aggressive in defence.
Looking forward to it there. That sounds like a bit of a build-up. Last little bit from you on the actual event here today, and obviously everything that England handball are doing. There was a little bit of controversy amongst teams about the north-south split, but does that sort of build up these occasions where, say, GD versus Hawks is a little bit more special, the fact that they haven't played each other this season and they're sort of going into it, like you said, with fireworks?
Yeah, there's pros and cons to every approach, I think. I think the way it's been set up this year is quite good. I think it's supporting clubs to stay locally. It's also going to drive the performance of other clubs that are not at the level of Premier League clubs. So it's going to have, in terms of development purposes, I think it can have a massive contributing factor to development of handball in 5 or 10 years' time. Yeah, it's probably a shame from a player's perspective that they've not played against the, quote-unquote top teams consistently through the year. So I think both teams might not know exactly what's coming to face them today. So there's pros and cons to both. But it's whatever England handball do. It sometimes they can't win. They can't. It's whichever way they go down, they're never going to win. There's few people that think it should be one way. People think it should be another. I think the way it's been done this year, it's quite interesting, and it certainly brings a bit more, as you said, a bit more kind of gusto to events like this today. Do you know what I mean? Where the cup's a cup. You want to play in a cup. It's different to the league. You want to turn up like the Eagles have done today. They've turned up with their full strength squad. They've travelled. They're here, playing on a full size court. Here for the occasion. Music's on. There's a couple of people watching today, which is nice and that. So I think the model of what they've done, it plays nicely to play more regionalised, local, bigger events, rather than events just being quite central and maybe London's focused. I don't know.
I was going to say, like you said, pros and cons to every approach, isn't there? But thank you very much, Andy. The buzz is telling us we have to leave, but enjoy your announcement duties for the day. Maybe we'll catch up a little bit later. And that was Andy Clark. As I said before, always been around handball, one of the well-known voices and names around this space. But as the teams are starting to come back on, Ian, I'll pass it back over.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jake. Great to hear from Andy Clark there. Second.
Is that all right?
Perfect. You gave me a break. Right, here we are, everybody. Welcome back. Second half action about to come up. Great to get a bit of insight there, wasn't it? Thank you for making the walk down there, Jack. It's not too far, is it? But you've managed to get back and join me again for the action here. Now, half time, I'm going to ask you your prediction. I know you love it when I do this, and everybody watching at home as well. Who is going to get the job done? Who is going to win? Can Eagles make the most of this 5-goal lead and take this home and make it to the National Cup final?
Yeah, well, like I said, we do know that Olympia can turn it on. I think Andy was theorising there that they managed to figure out what they needed to do towards the last 3 or 4 minutes. Can they translate that into the second half? Can West London Eagles almost preempt the fact that Olympia are going to change their style, move the ball a little bit quicker as well, and change the plan themselves? Or are they just going to rinse and repeat and try and get through this game in the way that they managed to start, which obviously was working? But the second half is underway. 30 more minutes of handball left. The story isn't over.
So a huge half-time there for Olympia head coach Nelson Oliveira there. It is make or break now. They trail by 5, Olympia. If they want to have a chance of winning the National Cup, they're going to have to go great guns in this second half. Eagles have thoroughly impressed, but Olympia have it, and they'll want to peg one back and put a bit of pressure on the early doors.
Yeah, and they force it to the line a little bit there, but they get away with it. Just noticed the first time we've seen Mark Miami as well. He made a big tackle as they move it over to the right wing, back to the right back. They can't get free the clutches of any of the West London Eagles players at the moment. They're forcing the play back all the way to nearly the halfway line, causing passive play. Chowdhury tries to run through. There was travel whilst contact, so he keeps the ball. But passive play carries on. They've got 5 more passes. 4 passes, they try and get it to the line. Krukaskas is not in the area, they move it to the right wing, right back even. Oh, it's going to go all the way to the right wing. What a finish there by the number 24 of Olympia. That is Bereznicu, I'm going to say.
Almost went in slow motion for a moment there, did it? That was exciting.
First blood goes to Olympia though in this second half, 12-16, 4-goal game. Of course, it was up to 6 goals. That's the biggest margin that we've seen so far in favour of West London Eagles. They're narrowing the court a lot. Krukaskas, he held a little bit of space there. I thought he might go up and try the shot. Forcing his way to the left wing, almost forcing his way out of any kind of option as well. Van Sukto goes back to the left to try and widen the space. Good step there by the right back, all the way out to the right winger. And a great save at the Olympian 73.
Well, good play here. This is so exciting to watch. Second half action here. live with 40 men's semi-final of the National Cup. And at the minute, Eagles are soaring high, but Olympia the only side to score so far in the second half. Long way to go, though.
I really haven't seen Elliott play that much, number 22 West London Eagles in the centre over the course of the season. Now, we've covered West London Eagles quite a few times, and I don't remember him as a player. But if anybody wondering, it looks like he's almost travelling there. He's landing with 2 feet at the same time. That counts as 0 steps in handball. It's a move I like to think I used to use quite a lot, but apparently I used to travel with it more often than not. As the 23 walks his way through, finally finds a bit of space, gets free of his marker. The number 23, which is Thomas Balanosis. Thomas Balanosis makes it a 3-goal game all of a sudden.
Yeah, there we go. The deficit drops to 3, and Eagles now yet to score in this second half. Olympia have netted twice. I must say, actually, when the ball was over on the right-hand side, I don't know if you can see the hoop over there. It actually hit the net, the basketball net. But there's one back. Is that the momentum shift that the Eagles need in the second half? Although the number 3's gone down on the court and stayed down as well. Yeah,
referees don't need to call for an injury or anything like that. Olympia go at the other end and score. And they score on the side that Wang Suk To would have been on as well, which is a bit of a shame. He seems to have done his ankle or something. He took a little bit of contact. I don't know if he's winded, actually. He's tapping his stomach, getting back to his feet.
I'll tell you something, they're hardly players, handball players. They don't go down unless something's wrong, do they?
No.
It's not football.
No, exactly, no. They can actually take the contact. And the reasons like that, I mean, the referees aren't going to stop the play. It's a physical game, it's a contact game. And Wang Suk To paid the price, unfortunately, of going down a little bit. So it is Olympia got the goal. I think there's a bit of confusion with the score, maybe, or something. I think it's still 14-17.
Still 14-17. I think that's right as well. Yeah, I don't think.
Yes, because of course Wang Suk To scored, then Olympia went on the other end, so it would still be a 3-goal game. Yes, of course. Prokaska's given far too much room to run into there. The defender, number 24 from Olympia, whereas Nietzsche, who had scored earlier, just offering him far too much space to run into. He's sat on the 6-metre line. He needs to get out to him. Kaskas is one of the players you don't want to be getting through. And there is the line use. Space in behind. Right winger coming in as that second line. Getting the ball from a really long pass. Far too much space for West London Eagles to deal with.
I've never seen a player have so much space that close to the goal. That was unbelievable.
Salgado enjoyed that one, didn't he? And he managed to actually score it, which Olympia weren't doing in the first 10 minutes of the first half.
So Eagles with it now, probing, trying to get forward. They've led by 6 at one point in this game. It's now down to 3 though. Olympia have started the brighter in this second half, although still early stages. But when you can score like that, wow, they just keep the pressure on, don't they?
Yeah, we've seen him, the number 5 from the right wing, have a bit of a mixed bag. Joe Mahoney. He scored one cracker. He's missed a bit of an easy one, and then he's scored another decent one there as well. So,
well, there we go. The music blaring out there. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. Well, we've begun, and it is an absolute corker here at Oldham Leisure Centre.
Yeah, you get the impression that Olympia are finally begun, haven't we? I mean, 30 minutes into this game, they're starting to take the game to West London Eagles, getting the penalty as well.
Pink Panther music now playing as well. I feel like I'm a bit of a disco. Well, do you know what he uses the word disco these days, do they?
No, you're definitely showing your age there. But luckily, the number 26 for Olympia showing his skill. That is Pavel, of course. Second goal he scored today. Well, second penalty, I believe he scored today.
And we're back to a 3-goal game. You just sense every time that the Eagles get that 4-goal in, it's pegged back again. But you just sense Olympia just look at a slightly different side. Oh, beautiful though. Every time. Olympia look like they're going to run away and get back into it, and then it disappears again.
Yeah, I think the Olympia support thinking there was a potential travel in there, but it doesn't really matter. The goal's been given off the crossbar and in. Always satisfied to see. Olympia restart. Oh, the space opened up. It was closed rapidly. Move out to the right wing, and the ball ended up hitting the West London Eagles' face. There's no foul, no problem with it, completely accidental, so Eagles go up the other end, try and wiggle through. I think some of the players potentially disagreeing with some of the calls that the referees made in the last 20 seconds, especially the coaches, having a chat to the referee. They have to be careful, because of course if the coach gets 2 minutes, the play has to come off.
Yes, certainly don't want that now.
Prakaska's giving too much room again. Now the keeper saved at that time, but I think they're going to have to stop giving him all that kind of space. Letting him get 3 steps and a jump is always a dangerous position for him to be in.
Well, Olympia so far have been high scorers in the National Cup. They beat Chichester Vulcans to make it through to the quarterfinals. They won that 44-22. Then they beat Nottingham in the round of 3. They won that 33-22. Before making through, of course, to the semi-finals here. But at the minute, they trail, but only by 3.
Elliot trying to run and jump past Chowdhury. Chowdhury actually claiming that he was sort of diving halfway on his way down before they made contact.
So I'm liking this referee. He's taking no nonsense, is he? My word.
Normally you're not allowed to talk back to the referee. That's what you get taught early on anyway. The ball runs out to the left wing, but it's actually picked up by an Eagles player. And the number 2 for West London Eagles, so we haven't seen that much this game. The left wing been dominated by Wangsik 2, of course. But Salim Mulaik, Mawalak even, I think I'm going to go for. Salim, let's just call him that for the time being, gets the goal.
Back to a 4-goal game, but this time Eagles have the ball in hand this time, and it looked like the 24 for Olympia. I don't want to say it because he's a lot bigger than me, but he's very slow to react as the ball came back.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he sort of knew or expected the left winger to be pouncing on it. He's the one who I'm thinking is offering a little bit too much room to Prakauskas anyway. As there we go, there's space in the middle, and it's the danger man, the number 10. Davidas Prakauskas getting another goal to his name in this game. Olympia have found quite a bit of joy in getting that second line in from the right wing specifically too. Let's see if they find another way round. Again, they're offloading it under contact. That's a look what Olympia like to do, as Mark Fayemi calls at the face.
Heavy hit down there. Let's just stop the clock for a moment. I think the referee's just going to make sure player's okay. If a player just goes down, I mentioned it's a bit like football. If it looks like it might be a head injury, you've got to just stop, haven't you?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Especially if players are falling on hard ground here as well, unlike football where they're falling on grass basically. I know it's 4G and it's not quite as squishy as your local park, but this is a very hard force, and any kind of contact, head-wise, you have to take very seriously. As the 26th for Olympia gets the goal done, lots of crosses, lots of space, good ball movement. West London Eagles couldn't quite keep up with it.
Yeah, back to a 4-goal game here. Olympia, the West London Eagles, 18-22 in favour of the Eagles. It's the Men's National Cup semi-final here live at Oldham Leisure Centre. The second semi-final coming up after this one. NEM Hawks against London GD. What a day we have for you. 4 games in total live. Both women's semi-finals coming up for you this afternoon as well. And again, Eagles, every time Olympia scored, they just managed to find a way through, and they've got a 5-goal lead again.
Yeah, there's second line looking, but there's loads of space out for the right back / right wing at the moment. They don't move it, they're starting to charge it up now though. Mark Fayemi going for that interception, he gets stepped around, looks like it's going to be a foul. I thought penalty was on the cards there, but apparently not.
We've got the music blaring out down there. The next step for this is every time there's a goal, it's fire to come up, isn't it? That's what we need next.
Like the 100?
Yes.
Or T20 cricket, yeah.
100%. I can just... I'm not too sure what Oldham Council will say about their sports hall going up in flames, but... I
was going to say the cricket netting on the right-hand side there might have to be thought about, but that's just boring, isn't it, health and safety?
We could get those fabric ones.
Yes.
Those fabric flames that go up.
That's true.
Right, so Eagles have it at the 22, bending down low, and that was a bit of a get-out-of-jail free card, it looks like, for Eagles. There was a bit of confusion. What a save that was by the Olympia keeper. Referee blows up, though.
I think defending in the area, potentially. Number 33 for Olympia, can't really understand what he's done. That's Salgado. I can only assume it's defending in the area.
So penalty.
Almost a save there. Prakauskas with the penalty. Olympia goes straight over the other end to try and transition quickly, but they slow it back down.
Now we've got 50 Cent blaring out. Go and go, short, it's your birthday. If there's anybody's birthday watching as well, we'll give you a shout out. Don't forget to please like, comment and share. We're live across the England Handball Association, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter pages, as well as ours. Live Sport Now, that's who we are. If you can, head over to Live Sport Now on YouTube and hit subscribe. Makes a big difference to us. Another penalty now for Olympia. It's a 5-goal game. Is it about to change back to a 4? Yes, it does.
Yeah, Pavel given the responsibility of the penalties. I don't think he took the first one. That was very casual, shall we say. Obviously went wide of the post, but ever since he's been put on them, he's been on fire, to be fair. 20-24. It's been a 4-goal game pretty much this entire second half. 4 or 3 at least. And this time, the Western Eagles don't manage to actually convert. So, an opportunity for Olympia to claw one back, and that right wing movement again into the second line. But when you got Carroll in goal,
unlucky.
He can do his best, but sometimes it doesn't matter.
Back to a 3-goal game. This is going to go right down to the wire, isn't it, Jack? Just a note on West London Eagles' route to the semi-final here in the round of 2. They beat Oxford, but it was a close game, 29-27. God, that was a tight one, wasn't it? In the next round, they came through against Manchester in order to get through to the semi-finals here. So both sides looking to go one step further. It is going to be tight. It is going to go right down to it. What have we got on the clock? With 42 and a half minutes on the clock now. Our clock is running a little bit ahead, so we'll just slow that down at the next timeout for you.
Oh,
beautiful.
Stop that, right in the postage stamp.
Naughty, naughty.
Yeah, unreal from the shoulder there as well. Under contact, very, very impressive indeed. 21-25 then, so what can Olympia do? I think West London Eagles, I think the biggest thing they're struggling with at the moment is the movement from the right wing going into that second line. And ever since they've swapped in the left winger for Salem from Wang Suk 2, in fact they're swapping now, swapping off the team actually. That's been a really big problem. I don't think Salem has actually managed to get hold of his player at all. Oh, look at this, they're going Olympia very aggressive with the defence, man-marking 2 players, Elliott and Kukaskas. Wang Suk 2, we've seen him play in the centre before actually, so he's not bad for the backcourt. And Joe Mahoney, proving that you're not allowed to give him much space either. It's his 3rd, I think, in the game.
I have to say, actually, I think we had the number 33 for Olympia and 22 for Eagles, just having a bit of a chat, weren't they? And here we go, the 8 is looking to break. Oh, my word, what a save. That was coming straight our way as well.
Yeah, Mark Fayemi on the board of England handball, actually. He's a really nice guy when I was communicating with them. And again, they go very aggressive on 2 players specifically, so go for a 4-0-2 formation, I call it. It's 4-2, most people would just say, but easier.
Yeah. Right, here we go, 44 minutes on the clock. We're starting to get to the halfway stage of the second half here of this men's semi-final for the National Cup. And once again, Eagles now starting to run away with it. It's a 6-goal game. What point does it get a bit too much, Jack, do you think?
15 minutes to go, 6 points. Don't know really. I think all it takes is one big momentum shift and then we're in for an interesting finish. But at the moment, yeah, West London Eagles seem to have got a little bit more control in this second half back. The goal does go in. Yeah, I think the Eagles, they just sort of relinquished control slightly in the first couple of maybe 10 minutes of this half. In the last 5, they managed to get a little bit more back, and I think that aggressive defence, that change from Olympia, maybe hasn't really benefited them as much as they would like. And the ball squeezes into the near post for Wang Suk 2. He's been a massive player for Eagles today.
So what's been the difference, Jack? Has it just been Eagles just been hitting the markers a little bit more? Perhaps it seemed to be a little bit more on the wavelength of the players. What's been the difference between the 2 sides? Why is there 6-goal difference? Because we know they're both very evenly matched. In fact, if anything, I might have made Olympia slight favourites coming into the game.
Well, yeah, but I think West London Eagles with their full team came with the game plan, and I'd say in defence, their 1 versus 1 defending has been very, very good. Even when Olympia got through in the first half specifically. Oh, they weren't able to take advantage of it. We saw fast breaks saved by Cower. There was penalties just put wide, fast breaks also put wide and everything like that. So the finishing of Olympia wasn't really on point. But the defence, as I say, not the score, but the defence from West London Eagles was really intense as well. Maybe something that surprised Olympia. And in attack, the fast breaks, their transition in attack for the Eagles was very, very impressive. I know Olympia made a few good interceptions. That just shows how often they tried it. And as they're sort of building up an attack here, West London Eagles look disjointed. But they managed to get through a few times, not this one though.
Yeah, very well said there, Jack. It's Olympia 23, Eagles 28. We're into the second half of the second half here in this Men's National Cup semi-final live at Oldham Leisure Centre for you. Don't forget the finals coming up next month at the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham. That's the 10th and 11th of June. Who is going to be your 22-23 National Cup champions? If it stays like this, West London Eagles are going to have a golden chance. But who will they be playing? We've got London GD v NEM Hawks coming up next to determine which two sides are going to be heading to Nottingham.
West London Eagles try to force Olympia back as high as possible. They go for the fast break, don't manage to make it happen though. There is an overload, there is space if they choose to use it. They tried, but good defence again. They're 1 versus 1, their man marking has been very impressive, West London Eagles. Starting to get a bit more crowd, actually. I think it's GD and Hawks have turned up.
Oh, yeah.
And number 10 for Olympia has turned up, that's Chavez. Again, a player we mentioned quite a lot when we saw him in the first game this season that we commentated on. I remember his name popping up quite often.
Yeah, back to a 4-goal game now, so I was just saying, when is it too late? But still plenty of time to go. We do have 12 minutes left of this game, only 4 in it, so lots of opportunity still for Olympia. They're not out of this one. Can Eagles hold on? As we start to get towards the closing stages of this game, we will have to start asking you to think about your player of the match as well, Jack Oliphant. I think I know who mine would be, and I think it's probably, well, I've got two actually. The number 3 for Eagles, or the number 22. Has just been absolutely everywhere with those arms, hasn't he? But you're more of an expert than me, so I've been swayed by your opinion.
I don't know about that. You've been covering all the games this season, haven't you? I think I've been impressed with Kukaskas as well. Lots of goals, lots of important goals as well, and good defence. He's been in charge of the line for most of this one, but whenever he's had to leave it, he's made good decisions. Cannoning off the crossbar there, and they charge at the court. Wang Suk To again. There's the fast break. A little bit more simple, that one. That's not to say it wasn't good. Just saying it was slightly more simple than the one we've seen before. But I think when Wang Suk To, when he came off as well, there was a big difference in their defence, West London Eagles. Their attack wasn't as creative. And now that Kukaskas has been man-marked out of the game, Wang Suk To has moved into the inside, and he's the driving force for creativity as well, even though it has likely been lacking.
Yeah.
He's in pole position at the moment for me.
Timeout called, so we'll stop the clock.
Yeah, one last chance for a few of the coaches to get their names across. Not the names across, that'd be a bit weird. No, their points across is what I'm on about.
Yeah.
There is, of course, the opportunity for maybe 1, even 2 more timeouts after this. But I don't think West London Eagles, unless it starts going a bit wrong for them, will be that keen to take it. I think they're quite happy with how the game's going.
Well, they lead. Oh, it's back up to 5 again, isn't it? Make sure I've got the right scoring. Yes, I do have the right scoring. It's been so entertaining, high scoring game, chop and change, hasn't it? Constantly throughout this game. It's been absolutely brilliant.
As the buzzer goes, Olympia were out quite quickly actually, considering it was them who called the timeout. Olympia was straight out, so I think the coach is wanting to get 1 very quick point to them, probably 1 very assertive and decisive point to them. West London Eagles taking their time a little bit more.
Now you can hear the fans now starting to come alive as well, just down to our left. Let's go Eagles is the shout from the West London Eagles ladies team. I can see them down here, women's team. I'm not too sure what you're supposed to say these days, but there you go.
Olympia trying to force it. I think their move got cut out by some good defence there by Eagles. As they start to charge it up again, 11 minutes to go. If they want to turn it around, they have to start soon, because West London Eagles, it's not like they're not going to score over the next 10 minutes. And with turnovers like that, Olympia don't look like scoring either.
So we move into 49 and a half minutes on the clock now. We're about to come into the final 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, forcing the play there, West London Eagles. They do look a little bit. That's it's suspect. Yeah, West London Eagles, now that they've had Cascas marked out, they do look a little bit devoid of ideas and inspiration, to be honest. Well, not really necessarily inspiration, but organisation, I would say. They don't seem to have a plan for when Cascas gets marked out. They seem to be slightly individualistic. Olympia get a goal back, 4 goals. Look how aggressive Olympia are going. They're not messing about now, are they? They're trying to transition. Joe Mahoney's going to be left to do it all on his own. Now there is a bit of a defence around the neck there, but travel.
Yeah, we're just, here we go, back in under play. It just went a little bit silent there, didn't it? But, keeper took one right in the face there. You do have to be mad to be a goalkeeper, don't you?
Yeah, he didn't seem to even play. I don't think he blinked, to be honest. Took it and then carried on. Eagles get back into defence nicely.
Whilst there's a little break, I'm just going to pop the timer back on screen, swap it over for you. There we go.
Cower with an important save there, I think, for Eagles. He's going to be very important in the last 10 minutes, because as I said, Eagles look a little bit like they're struggling to break down this Olympia defence. There we go, there's a bit of speed, but they don't use it. Seemed like a simple pass. So it's doing like 4 steps to me, but it gets the goal. The referee doesn't see it.
Yeah, I thought it looked like there was 1 or 2 more than probably should have been taken, but a lot of space on the right side of the goal and convert back to a 3-goal game here. Final 10 minutes now. It's getting exciting, Jack.
Isn't it? This is a bit tighter than West London Eagles were hoping for. Joe Mahoney sort of, again, not really knowing where to go or what to do. He needs some more players moving around him. I know Cascas is getting marked out, but he needs to actually move into the attack. Penalty. I think that was defending in the area. But West London Eagles, all the speed has gone, the creativity, the knowledge of what to do to break this team down has gone. So Cascas hits the post. That's not going to be what he was hoping for either. And as Olympia try and take advantage of the extra player, they don't manage to do it. I thought there was going to be a very cheeky line pass in, but no, nothing going.
So in 8 minutes' time, are the Eagles going to be shouting with joy, or is it going to be Olympia who are going to work their way back into it? It's come off the post, and Eagles survive. They still lead by 3. It's the men's semi-final of the National Cup here, live at Oldham Leisure Centre. Who is heading to Nottingham next month for that final. What a save by Thomas Cower again. As you said, he's going to play a big part in this second half, right at the end of this game, and he certainly is doing. 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Oh, I was getting shivers going up my spine. It's that exciting.
That's not just a breeze from the fire door being open then, no. There we go, a little bit of movement from West London Eagles. Finally starting to ask questions, and they get the goal from it as well. They've had 3 minutes where they just haven't really known what to do, haven't moved at all. They finally get a little bit of speed in the ball, and they get the goal as a reward as well. Olympia moving out to the right-hand side now. 4 goals in it. Chenoa's faking 3 of them and almost getting through.
2 players down. We're going to stop the clock if we can.
Very apt choice of song there by Jake Williams as well. Let's get physical.
Yeah,
bit of rubbing salt in the wounds a little bit, but you know.
Talk about kicking him whilst he's down. Don't forget, please do comment as well. We haven't had too many people getting involved on the live chat in the second half. We would love to hear from you. What have you made so far? Are Eagles going to hang on to this one, or can Olympia pull it back? Let us know what you think. The live chat is open at the England Handball Association YouTube channel. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight there. You can also watch the game there as well. So if you want to get in touch with us, that's the best place to do it, or live sport now on YouTube as well. Here we go with it. Great save by Thomas Cower. He's made 2 almost game-winning saves in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's been, as I said, very, very important. I think it's, since I said that sentence, I think he's made 3 actually. So, I mean, that's the difference between Olympia being only 1 goal behind and West London Eagles still in control. There's a goal though. Number 14 from West London Eagles. We haven't actually seen that much so far. I think that's Alexander Norbrink. I do remember saying the name before, so maybe he has been around, but it's a bit of a slightly peripheral figure. shot cannons over from Olympia, and they're just throwing pop shots at this point. There was once upon a time where they had a little bit more control, a little bit of a plan to break this West London Eagles team down, but now I think frustration's gotten the better of them.
So now you think that's it then? You think Eagles are
I wouldn't be that dangerous to say that.
Jack, you're not allowed to sit. You're allowed to.
Big save.
No, well, you're allowed to sit on the fence.
Yeah, I'm definitely allowed to sit on the fence. I will work my way to sit on a fence if it kills me. Good save there by the 73, wasn't it, Matthias De Paolo? We see. He was. Why he passed that off?
Ball tips forward. It is the Eagles leading this by 5 now. But Olympia have it. They've got to score here. And as we have a bit of a wrestling move there, a bit of a hold there, Olympia keep it. We're about to move into the final 5 minutes of this game. Oh, beautiful. It looks so good when we were looking down at the barrel there. It looks beautiful. The spin on the ball as well.
Well, the pass to him was delightful as well. He bounced it round the back of the defender, a little bit of spin right into the path of Chanez, who looks a little bit tired, I'll be honest. He's struggling to get over to his team timeout. 4 goals in it now. I think this was called by West London Eagles now, so they're probably thinking, let's chill out, get the instructions to try and focus the players.
Yeah.
A few more goals. They probably only need 2 or 3 more goals, and all of a sudden they're in the final.
Let's stop that clock. Sorry, Jack. Yeah, timeout called. So let's make sure the clock is stopped as we move into the final 5 minutes of this game. It is 4 goals. It's not too much for Olympia to do, though, is it? They can get back into this still.
Yeah, as I said, I think I'm going to put my sort of self on a whim a little bit and say 2 West London Eagles goals and they're in the final. I think Olympia, last 5 minutes, I can't see them having 8 goals in them. So, or 7 goals in them, or however many that would be they have to hit. So I think that's probably, if I was the coach of West London Eagles, what I would try to be drilling to my players. Control the defence, get 2 goals. You can't really do much more than that.
Relax.
Anything else is a bonus for them.
That's it. Relax and try and close it down. Right, we're back underway. Here we go. We have got 5 minutes exactly on the clock.
They've
Let's
decided
get going.
to ignore Kukaskas. A different approach there from Olympia. They allow him to run through. It takes 3 of them to stop him. They are getting a different approach. And look at that. As soon as they let him free, away he flies. The West London Eagles. Kukaskas from the left back position. Well, that's 1 goal. I said they needed 2. They might get a few more. If Olympia defend like that, out to Traneris, who goes with the spin, and that is delightful. Chef's kiss on that one.
Let's take that one. Chef's kiss. I like it. Back to a 4-goal game here with 4 minutes to go. Just over 4 minutes to go.
Oh, Joe Mahoney turns the pace on from the right wing and absolutely burns his marker, the number 23. They move it out to the left wing to Olympia. Now that's the magic 2 goals that I was talking about. A 5-goal game. They've gone so quickly. I think Olympia maybe have enough time to get back into a little bit, but I think it's going to be West London Eagles as Olympia score from the line.
There you go. I'll double edit the score then for that one.
Georgiev. Again, Olympia, their 1v1 defending not quite been good enough since they've gone to a very aggressive 3-3. Joe Mahoney from that right wing then, doesn't get the shot away, tries to force it to the line. Foul given. 3.5 minutes to go. 4-goal game. Kukaskas gives it a step. Takes the foul.
Well, he'll take that quite happily, won't he? Anything to just run that clock down, waste some precious seconds.
And he's strong enough that he can break the contact as well and get the shot away. Great step there by 14.
Surely, Jack, that is that now.
That's Noel Brink, and I think he's got the all-important goal. That's important enough for me to say West London Eagles, I think, are heading to the final.
There you go, you've heard it here. Breaking news. Jack Oliphant climbs off his fence and puts his hat out there and says Eagles are going to be in the final. I've got to agree with him, to be fair. 5-goal game. They've been absolutely sublime, have Eagles. That confirms it. Surely now West London Eagles are heading to Nottingham next month for the Men's National Cup final.
Yeah, good goal by Noel Brink. He seems to have a step on the Olympia players who seem tired and frustrated. That pass signifies it all. Smashing the floor as well with the 23. with options there, but didn't realise that the right wing was on, number 6. I don't think we've seen much of him already.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this game, everybody, as well. It's been an absolute cracker, isn't it? 2 minutes to go, that is it. Olympia 29, West London Eagles 35. And we spoke about it at the start of this game, didn't we? Right at the very start of the broadcast, actually, when we were talking about it. We'll make it 2-2 for the season between Olympia and West London Eagles, we believe, if we've got our facts right.
Yes, I think so.
And what an important one it is for Eagles to win as well.
Yeah, they'll be most pleased with this one, I feel. Olympia do get the ball to the line, and it was almost saved again by Cowan. He's had a good last 10 minutes. But yeah, I think this will be the most satisfying. Gets them to the final. Well, of course, they'll play either London GD or North East Manchester Hawks. Big game there, very exciting ball coming up straight after this. It'll be a separate broadcast. So you might have to click off this video and carry on back to the homepage of England Handball YouTube or wherever you're watching us, basically. Lovely, nestled into the top corner there, by the way. But yes, you don't want to be missing that one. It'll kick off, well, go off, I should say, about half an hour afterwards, I think, Ian. I'm not entirely sure what the time's on. Is it an hour after?
I think it's 12:30, so
12:30, so half an hour after.
Which gives us time to set the broadcast up. So, so to make sure you come back for that, we'll be live, of course, across the England Handball Twitter page as well. At LinkedIn, if there's any LinkedIn users, at Ian Waterhouse, that's me. Will be, if there's any Twitchers out there, on Twitch at Live Sport Now as well, and of course Live Sport Now Facebook, as well as the EHA and the team's Facebook pages, by the way. If you follow any of the teams on social media, we are going out to the team's Facebook pages and NEM Hawks' Twitter page. There you go. So
anywhere they can stream video, we are there.
No excuse for not being able to watch that game. Sorry, I've been a bit lax with the score over the last couple of minutes or so.
36-32 to West London Eagles.
So here we go.
Only 8 seconds to go. One last throw of the dice here, throw the ball from Olympia. Does make it 33-36. A very muted reaction. The buzzer goes. West London Eagles are heading to the final.
Well. Congratulations, West London Eagles. They are the 2022-23 Men's National Cup finalists. Congratulations to you guys. What a game we have seen here. It has been full of excitement, full of intrigue, and the Eagles just carried on, didn't they? They looked so good. They came out of the block so quick. I thought at one point we were going to see a spell from Olympia where just maybe a bit of extra quality at certain areas might come into play. Not to be, though, and Eagles managed to hold on. But what a tight game we've ended up there. 3 goals in it in the end. Although once Eagles got into that sort of 4 or 5 goal lead, they never really looked like losing it, Jack.
No, I think the second half, first 10 minutes, Olympia seemed to figure them out. Last 5 minutes of the first half as well, they did. But Eagles kept pushing after about 10 minutes of Olympia coming back. Eagles just carried on, and every time Olympia scored, every time the Eagles scored, Olympia scored. Eagles went and replied as I put my iPad down. I'm going to go and have a chat to a few of the coaches. We've got Alexander and we got Nelson. Nelson from Olympia, Alexander from West London Eagles. We'll go down and try and have a chat. They are going to have a very quick photo. So as West London Eagles get their photo, maybe I'll go and see if I can grab Nelson Oliveira, who is currently signing the team sheet, and he's like one of the loudest speakers in England right now as well. So I do apologise if you can't quite hear us properly. I'm just having a look at Leon, our cameraman, to see if I need to walk away from them or whether this is okay. He seems to be giving me the thumbs up. Do you want me to walk closer, Leon? He seems to be walking past me, so I'll try and get a chat with him a little bit closer to the camera. Nelson, can we come and have a quick chat? Tough after that sort of loss, unfortunately, but you guys did come back into the game pretty well. Are you proud of the performance?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, we are capable of much more. We knew it was going to be very tough for us because, I don't want to make an excuse. We had a lot of players injured and whatever. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel my players gave their best here, and that's why I'm going to approach now in the changing room. I'm a bit disappointed with the performance, but it is what it is. Now he's just thinking about the Final Four and the British Final Four and working for it.
I was going to say a big weekend next weekend, of course, but Little bit on this one, West London Eagles, they came out with an extremely aggressive defence. They kept that up for the entirety of the game. So is that a little bit of a surprise for you? Because I wasn't expecting them to go down 3-3 straight away.
No, not totally. They did exactly the same last game. It's just, today it didn't work. Sometimes it happens that. Sometimes these games, it just, the team doesn't connect together. And today was the example. They were not a team today, and that's what makes a difference. And that's exactly the approach I had with them before the game starts. To win the game today, you have to be a team. And they were not. Unfortunately, that's the reality. And that's what I'm going to discuss with them now.
Well, thank you very much for the honesty. Good luck for the Super Cup, Nelson. Hopefully we'll speak to you then. Right. West London Eagles have disappeared, which is, no, they're here. Alexander, I'll see if I can get a chat with him. He seems to be deep in conversation with someone else. I'll try and drag him to the centre of the court. Alexander, can we have a chat? We'll have to go a little bit away from the speakers, I'll be honest. But that was a great game from your perspective. Very exciting for us as neutrals as well, of course, but you have a big beaming smile on your face, and I imagine your players do as well.
Well, we did well, I think, especially in the first half. They obviously not surprised them. They know we play 4-2, but it was very aggressive 4-2. So in defence, we saved a lot of goals. I mean, we have a good goalkeeper as well, but solid defence makes the job for him easier. So and then we went from in attack. We did execute well in the first half, which was good. I think that the defense, the difference on the scoreboard was there, even by the half time. At some point, I think middle of the first half, we ran out of ideas in a bit, which happened to us. So it's always the thing, what I can change as a coach to disbalance, put them off the other team. So change something in a team play and what we play in attack. So second time was I think solid. At some point I decided to change the defense from 4-2 to 6-0 deep, which again resulted in a closing on the goals. They were scoring from the wingers coming in as a second line. They did score about 4 or 5 goals, which is I had to close this loophole, and once we closed it, it went even better. So.
I was going to say, your 4-2 defence, or 3-3 it looked like at certain points because it was so aggressive. That took me by surprise. We don't see much of that in England. Is that fitness levels, capability of the players? What gives you the trust in them to actually pull that off against a team like Olympia?
So I trust my players very much. I know what they're capable of, and because I do put that trust in them, we can play either 4-2 or 3-3, as you said. Sometimes it does look as a 3-2 because I think actually on this particular game, the idea was actually to close their left and right backs. So that's why I had both backs, left and right back, up actually, pretty much where I said, yeah. And I said to my centre back to stay about a metre behind, so to wait for their centre back, but their centre back is just passing the balls and very rarely shoots, so we needed to close the gates on left and right side.
I was going to say, it was very impressive and great to hear the insight as well, because everybody gets bored of me talking about it, but great to hear it. Some of the picks, some of the catches and the goals he scored down here, they were just as important as anything else as well. The structured attack, you were very good, but the transition was mega from you guys today.
You mean from our team? Well, but we are well known for being very good in transition, especially in the Premier League matches. We did score a lot of goals in the fast breaks. For some reason in the playoffs we just slow down on that. I just can't explain. I keep saying to guys, we need to use all the weapons we are good at. So, and we did today only partially, I would say. It wasn't full still. I'm not, from that perspective, not really satisfied. We could have done much better.
Well, fair enough. I mean, very impressive performance all round from you guys today. We'll be seeing you in Nottingham for the final. Does that sound good?
Indeed, very good. We are looking forward to it very much. And thanks to all our Eagles and the club, and supporters. We hope to get there and win that match as well.
Brilliant, great shout out as well. Congratulations, Alexander. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Right then, that is all we've got time for here for this particular game. Next one is one of the big ones. It's London GD versus Manchester Hawks. It'll be on a slightly separate stream. So once we've finished here, click onto that and I'll hand back to Ian.
Thank you very much for that, Jack. Yes, coming up next, London GD, the NEM Hawks in the Men's National Cup semi-final. We're going to go to a short break. We're going to set up a new broadcast for it as well. So wherever you're watching this right now, make sure you come back in about, what time is throw-off? Let's just have a quick look, shall we? We will be back for it. Here's your schedule for the men's game. It is due to get underway at 12:15, so we will be back in about half an hour for that one. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that, and of course congratulations to the West London Eagles. They're in the final of the men's